What an insane weekend. Hope you had a great Lord's Day yesterday. I had a great Lord's Day. My pastor was back. He was out of quarantine, official Vermont double secret quarantine. He was out of quarantine, and we all met and had a great time worshiping God, and it was just really good to see everybody and all that kind of stuff. And one thing he definitely did not do, definitely did not lie about what happened at the Capitol, and I appreciated that. I knew he wouldn't because he's a good man, but it's just you expect pagans to lie all day, but just to see the amount of Christians willing to lie about what happened at the Capitol, it's just unbelievable. And so, we're of course all dunking on it, and it's just amazing. But Russell Moore gets his little holy robes on, and
I cannot abide anyone using the whataboutism and this is a violent insurrection.
And it's just like, my goodness gracious, like this guy doesn't have any self-respect. Somebody messaged me today, and he mentioned that, Jesus was using whataboutism, I guess, when he said, get the plank out of your eye before you try to get the speck out of somebody else's eye. It's just ridiculous. I mean, obviously, nobody's saying that a violent riot is okay because what about the other riot that was okay? No, we're saying that you're the hypocrite because you have selective outrage and because you obviously don't have a problem with violence. You just care about the fact that these are Trump supporters allegedly doing it. Like, it's not the violence itself, it's the politics, because last month you didn't care so much about violence and because you approved of the politics. And so we know that you're a faker. We know that you're lying. We understand that. And so that's what that's all about. But so, obviously I'm just going to go with Jesus on this one. You got a big fat plank in your eye, Big Eva, and you're over here trying to pull out,
QAnon, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. Anyway, but now we're all in this uncomfortable place where we got to figure out what to do because obviously the deplatforming and the censorship isn't going to stop here. It's not going to stop with the president of the United States. I mean, is that getting lost in this? Like, well, it's just the president of the United States. I mean, they're not coming for me. Well, of course they're going to come for you. It's obvious. This is just so. Anyway, so we're all in the uncomfortable position on what to do because obviously our time on Twitter is limited. And obviously, I saw James Lindsay, the atheist. I mean, he's got his head on straight when it comes to this. It's like, we can stay on Twitter, but we have to self-censor. And what's the value in censoring yourself? Like, okay, I see people making the argument, well, we got to be salt and light here on Twitter. And it's like, right, I agree. But the thing is, if you're actually salt and light, you're going to be banned. So why put the effort into that platform? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to self-censor. In fact, I think probably if we're all honest with ourselves, many of us have been self-censoring for months. And so it's like, well, are they going to get the real gospel though? Right? I mean, I guess we could post a couple of Bible verses, but how long can we even do that? So I'm leaving Twitter. There's just no question about that. And I'm probably leaving YouTube as well. It's just a matter of the logistics of how to do it. It's very obnoxious to have to think about this, but you have to. I mean, it just is what it is. No sense in feeling like a victim about it. Just got to make some plays here. So I'm reevaluating all of my platforms here. I'm not going to leave YouTube right away, but I am going to start doing more videos on other platforms. I haven't decided which yet, but I'm going to be deciding soon. I've looked into a bunch. I have a couple videos on like BitChute and stuff like that. I don't really like BitChute that much, but whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll get it all figured out. But I just wanted you to know that. I'm going to keep my Twitter open for a time. I'm going to primarily use it as a messaging service. And also, I get a lot of my hot leads on Twitter, so I'm going to still look at people's tweets and stuff. But I don't expect much tweeting from me in the future, and that's just how it's going to be. But anyway, if you do want to make sure you stay in contact with me, sign up for my newsletter, adrobles.com. Check it out. I haven't been sending a lot of emails out. Anyone who's on the newsletter knows I don't really send a lot of emails out, but I probably will start. So adrobles.com, sign up for my email list. And then, of course, there's the P.O. box, right? You can send me a real letter. In fact, I've got a handwritten letter here. Just so encouraging. It's from a guy named Andy. and he just said that the stuff that I've been putting out there has helped him. It's it's kind of solidified the fact that he isn't crazy, and just this very nice letter. Thank you so much, Andy, for sending me this handwritten letter. It meant a lot to me to get it, and thank you very much. Other people were sending me other stuff, like this guy sent me a book he wrote. I assume that's who sent it. A Berean's Response to Social Justice Gospel. I haven't read this yet, but having a look at the table of contents, it looks like it's gonna, hit all the main points. So looking forward to that. That's from Daniel Knapp, A Berean's Response to the Social Justice Gospel. I also got this one. Jimmy Song sent me this. Thank God for Bitcoin, the creation, corruption, and redemption of money. I'm looking forward to this, man. I own a little bit of coin, but I don't own a lot, and primarily it's because I don't really understand it that well. But either way, though, I do understand the problems with fiat currency and all that kind of stuff, and so I'm looking forward to reading about it. That should be a really interesting read. And then Joseph, man, I'm not going to name your last name because I don't know if you want that out there, but Joseph, brother, I almost cried when I saw this, man. This guy sent me a check to support the channel, and I'm not going to tell you how much it was, but a significant amount of money. And so thank you, brother. I honestly can't even believe it. I'm so glad that you find my content helpful enough to want to support it. It makes it so much easier to do these videos sort of like every day, and it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing that it's helped so many people. So I'm looking forward to it, and that's probably why I have to leave YouTube, because I wanted to continue to help people, and I just don't think I think my days are numbered here on YouTube. And the problem is that I put so much effort into it that it's it's going to be painful and annoying to have to leave, but it just is what it is. I mean, that's just how life goes sometimes. So I'm taking a look at a few different things, and how I can make the transition. The YouTube transition will be a lot slower. I think Twitter, I don't even know if I'll ever tweet again. So that might already be over. But as far as the YouTube transition, that'll be a lot slower. So I'll still be uploading videos to YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But I'm in the process right now of just figuring out everything online, trying to find the safest possible way to access the internet. I'm taking a look at Proton Mail and that kind of thing. Clearly, that seems to be a better option than Gmail. And then Amazon. I mean, there's even relying on Amazon for anything at this point. It's pretty twisted, the control of information. And I think I've seen a number of people just say, well, yeah, you just can't use social media, but it's not a big a deal. And it's like, well, yeah, social media is not that big a deal, but what's really being controlled is the flow of information, and that's a humongous deal. And if you don't understand that about shutting down the flow of information, how big of a deal that is, I mean, you got to grow up. You got to put your big boy pants on, put away your diapers. You got to really grow up. That's a humongous deal. There's been a move by essentially, let's just call it what it is, like the liberals, and I mean the liberals in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. There's been a move to control the information to such a degree that they can just delete your channel, your web page in a day. For spurious reasons. I mean, everyone's saying that Trump incited a riot and this and that. It's just false. It's just not true. That's a lie. He did not incite a riot. Everyone's saying there's an insurrection. That's false. That's a lie. That's not what happened. And so at this point, you really got to sort of reevaluate your entire situation here. My businesses use Gmail. I'm going to have to get rid of that. And it's going to be annoying and painful, but it's just how it has to be. And so I would suggest that, right now, not everybody has the ability to sort of take some time to sort of reevaluate, and people are working, people don't necessarily work in the home like I do and things like that. But spend a little bit of time this week, at night, in the morning, whatever you have to do, and try to take a look at your exposures, take a look at your risks, take a look at what you can to eliminate as much exposure as possible to these beasts. These people are beasts. There's just no question about it. I've seen these pastors, calling for blood. Eric Mason with the kill shots. Rod Dreher with throw them off an airplane kind of stuff. Now, all these little sissies, all these little sissies talking big about violence, just like it's just off the top of their head. Like I was telling this to my brother today. I was talking to him. I get ridicule for my tone all the time. And,
You're just angry tone. Oh, you're just angry. You just mock people.
You know what I mean? But I just have to say, like, I've cursed people in my heart, and that's a sin, man. There's no question about it. I'm not trying to downplay that. Like, I've cursed at people, like I've said F all, in my head, that kind of thing. But I've never even fantasized about killing someone, about a political opponent being destroyed, being killed. Like, it's just like for things that aren't death worthy. Like, that's different when you're talking about someone that's murdered someone. Yeah, they should be executed. You're talking about someone that's raped a child. Yeah, they should be executed. You talk about, so that's different. I'm not talking about things that's the just punishment for, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like some people chanting USA and Trump stuff on an airplane and fantasizing that they would fall to their deaths from the plane. Like, you have to be a sick, demented, demonic individual to be doing that, and yet these are people that are leaders in the church, respected, stately people. You know what I mean? This is a sick and twisted world. I can't even imagine being in that mindset. We're talking about,
gotta round them all up, Jamar Tisby. Round them all up.
He's ready to get the Gestapo out. He's one of these people, and yet he thinks he's in the right. Or does he? I don't even know, because to be that demonically oppressed, I wonder sometimes, like, to be that demonically oppressed, you have to participate in it. You have to want it. You know what I mean? I think that he knows that some of the stuff he's been calling for is pure evil, but he'll do it anyway. I mean,
round up the Trump supporters. There must be hell like a sedition.
You know what you're calling for when you're calling this an insurrection and sedition, and these people are treasonous? Like, you're calling for their deaths, right? That's what you're calling for. You're a sick puppy. But anyway, I don't know. I just never been in that headspace. I've never been in the headspace where somebody deserves to die because they think that there was voter fraud. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even understand how that mindset works, what you have to be to get into that mindset. I just don't know. But we're seeing a lot of things exposed, man. We're seeing a lot of things exposed. I mean, even the greatest conservative stalwart, Jason Allen, he's one of the good ones. No, he's not. I'm sorry, he just isn't. He's just a slave to the zeitgeist at this point. Anything that any propaganda that CNN puts out there, he believes it. He believes it first. I mean, how stupid do you have to be at this point to believe the narrative first, and then maybe consider that it might not be true? No, you should instantly disbelieve the first thing that you hear at this point from the mainstream media. That's just how it works. But anyway, yeah, I think it's proper to take precautions. I think I'm extremely annoyed that I have to do this. It's going to be a big, huge waste of time, but you have to do it, because if you don't waste this time to switch over to other services and things like that, it's going to be hoisted upon you at the inopportune time. So you need to prepare for it. Do it yourself ahead of time before they force you to do it. Gab, by the way, seems like an interesting option, because the thing about Gab that I like is, of course, the Christian guy running it. That's cool, but they actually are pretty innovative. You remember their Dissenter app? The Dissenter was cool. Like, it was like a thing that allowed you to have a comment section on anything on the internet. Like, even if it didn't have a comment section, it would create a comment section for you. I'm pretty sure it got kicked off all the stores. But they're innovating stuff, man. You got to be patient with them. They're obviously not ready for the big time, but certainly seem to have their head on the right shoulders. Plus, the memes are great. The memes are absolutely fantastic. So that's good. But anyway, yeah. So I don't really know what else to say. This is a bit of a ramble, but my mind's elsewhere. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. What do you guys think about videos? Where should I put them? You know what I mean? Like, I honestly, I like YouTube for a lot of things, but I have to leave. I have to eventually leave, and I just don't know where to exactly go. Someone was suggesting DLive. There, of course, is BitChute. Then there's Rumble, all those other ones. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. God bless.